welcome, good morning, and happy Easter. Um, there's so many things in my head. I talk to Spirit all the time. Let's start with why we love being spiritualists. And what does a spiritualist religion have that maybe others don't have? You know, I was watching the other day on the news, and there's a lot of fighting going on between different sects of religion. The Hebrews and the Palestinians right now are fighting, you know? And I was watching the Ten Commandments yesterday, and I thought about it. How much have we really changed as a civilization, considering way back then in Moses' time when they were fighting? Look at what happened to Jesus, right, the crucifixion. There was always one sect of people trying to control another sect of people. And here we are thousands of years later, and we're still seeing fighting. So that brings me to talk about the love that's in the heart of God. And as spiritualists, and any religion, but spiritualists in particular, I feel that our religion is a little bit more pure. We cut out the middleman and we say, look, let's have a relationship with God, with Creator, with the divine, the universe, spirit, whatever and whichever way you'd like to call the divine in your life. It's the God of your understanding. And this God of your understanding will speak to you, will talk to you. And I have fun with my communication sometimes. I mean, I can hear, see, feel, and etc. And that's where all of you should be. But sometimes I say, surprise me. And I'll be driving on the road, on a highway, and then a truck will pass by with a certain name, like Eternity something. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Or Trinity this, or Trinity Plumbing. And I like to look for those little signs in each and every moment, because it's too easy to forget who's guiding you, right? Life will kick us sometimes. Life gives us a lot of challenges sometimes. And that's what I love about Easter, because particularly Easter, it reminds me I have two choices. I can focus on the crucifixion, or I can focus on the resurrection. Me personally, I love watching King of Kings, The Passion of Christ, but I have a hard time watching that part when he gets crucified. And that's when I'm reminded by Spirit, don't dwell on the crucifixion. There's pain in life. Each one of us is crucified in one way or another. We have addiction, we have mental illness, we have physical illness, we have emotional illness. Sometimes we're betrayed by someone who loves us, right? Or there are those in our life who can't love us unconditionally. Or we don't know how to love ourselves unconditionally. But that's something that we shouldn't focus on. What we should focus on is who we are as a spiritual being. And who has our back as a spiritual being. And that's what spiritualism is all about. We can read the word in the Bible, we can listen to a minister. I enjoy being a minister, I love being a reverend, but I realize that I'm only guiding you. And I am just as flawed as everybody else. But as long as I keep my mind and heart on God, on the divine, I know that nothing in life is really going to hurt me, is really going to affect me. And it's about staying uplifted, and it's about the resurrection. And that's what I love about Easter. Every Easter, I'm reminded, no matter what I'm going through, there's love and joy. There's peace, there's faith. And you know, no matter how hard things get, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. For me personally, I've been dealing with an illness for about 6 months. I had some severe side effects from the COVID shot. So back in September of last year, I had to stop working my day job. I had to stop working with my spiritual clients. I couldn't come here and do the monthly psychic fair. I had to give up doing speaking in front of my congregation and stuff like that. And I lost faith. I'm here to tell you, I lost faith. I was dwelling in the crucifixion, dwelling in it, dwelling on it, and I thought that nothing was ever going to change. And my guides, my angels, knocking at my door, knocking on my head, telling me it's going to get better. But I couldn't see my way out of that hole because it took time. But I kept on playing with my crystals. I kept on meditating. And part of the thing was because of my body was so ravaged by the side effects, I couldn't do energy healing. It was too much for my body and my nervous system. So I had to give up my crystals. I had to give up the energy healing. I had to just be. And guess what? Without all those tools and trappings, all I had was me and God. That was it. And I learned a thing or two. I learned that although crystals are beautiful and I love it, Reiki, meditation, sound healing, crystal bowls, all of these things, they're just tools. They all come from one place, God. God around me, God in me. Each one of you is God. And in that moment, I was blessed and realized, don't focus on the bad things. Don't focus on the crucifixion. Focus on how am I going to get better. Focus on that there's someone more powerful than me that is in my life in every moment, that will see me, that will see each one of you through everything. And Jesus said in the Bible, He's the way, the truth, and the life. And it's true. Now, who is Jesus to each one of us? A teacher, a brother, but also we have that piece of Him within us. And when we open up to that, especially as spiritualists, when we open our spiritual ears, we get all of the messages and guidance that we ever need. Jesus said, be in the world, but not of it. Don't let the little things, don't sweat the little things, and they're all little things. I like that book, and I use that as a meditation and motivation all the time. Life sometimes is easy and beautiful and sweet, precious. There's gifts in every moment. But with it becomes the challenges that help us to learn and grow and move forward. Just like going to the gym. You got to use those weights to kind of train your muscles to get stronger and stronger. It's the same as spiritualists. And it doesn't matter, as spiritualists, we can still have a faith of maybe being spiritualist and Christian, or spiritualist and Buddhist. It doesn't matter. It matters what drives you, what fills you. And it doesn't matter what level of unfolding you are in this process. I know when I teach, I'm asked, well, how do I know if it's my own thoughts coming in? Or how do I know if it's the guidance from God, from my angels, maybe my loved ones in spirit? And what I tell them is, how do you feel when you're receiving that message? What were you thinking about a moment before? Because normally messages will come, the thought that comes to you is not what you were thinking before. It just comes in and pops in and floats in like a feather, so light. And it makes you feel good. It makes you feel peaceful. It makes you feel loved. And that's when you know you're receiving messages. Because we have a lot of thoughts in our head. Some people say 10,000 a day. I'm like, yeah, I probably have 1 million of them. And some of them are not so good. It's kind of, you don't want to be in my head sometimes. But that's what we do as spiritualists. We learn to decipher the messages. We learn to get to know what's our own thoughts, what's our own fears, and what are the messages of God. Because we're connected and we're never separated. That's what this message I want to bring and Spirit wants to bring to you today. A message of hope, of love and joy. And that to me in a nutshell is Easter. Joy, love, hope, faith. Knowing that no matter what I'm going through, no matter what hill I'm climbing up, I got help. I got help from many, many sources, from my angels, my guides, God, Jesus, whatever other sensitive masters you call your friends, your loved ones, your family. I like to bring in through all the traditions. I love Isis, I love Kuan Yin, I love the Hindu, the Buddhist gods and goddesses. To me, they're all helpers, they're all guides. They all had earthly lives. And they're here to teach us to transcend, to ascend, to realize that there's more in this life than the trials and tribulations that we go through. as long as we hang on to our faith, as long as we practice our faith each and every moment. Some people, they go to church once a week and they think that's enough. Me, I live and breathe and eat this every moment of each day. I had a friend, she's also a medium, and she was speaking about how important it is to stay connected every moment. And she didn't realize on some level the importance. So she was talking how her family's from Japan and they were coming over to visit. And she tells her guides, I don't want to hear from you for 2 weeks. I want to be an earth girl. I want to have fun with my family. I don't want to think about spiritualism and mediumship. I don't want to hear from you. And they're like, you sure about that? Because we'll do as you ask. Ask and ye shall receive. She said, yes. I don't want the bother of being open and tuning into everything. Within the first 12 hours, she started feeling sad. Depression started setting in. Losing her way. And she's like, guys, can I change my mind? She realized such a valuable lesson. She didn't realize that without that connection, she was lost, that connection was feeding her, that was giving her joy and hope. And as spiritualists, we realize there's so much more than messages. I don't know about you, but when I receive my messages, like right now, I feel like I can climb the tallest building, leap the longest sea. I feel like I have all the power in the world. But I realize what I'm feeling is not coming from me, it's flowing through me. It is a part or aspect of me that I'm in contact with. I feel so much peace and joy in this moment that nothing can touch me like a shield. And I pray, Spirit prays, that each one of you has that contact and has that connection to Spirit on that level, that you know that nothing can stop you, that nothing can stand in your way. It doesn't matter of illnesses or anything. I'm here to tell you, I have some things I'm dealing with health-wise, right? A lump here, a lump there. Is it cancer? Is it not? Have to be watched, blah, 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 blah. I'm not immune to all these things that everybody else goes through, but I realize in my journey, do I want to travel alone or do I want to travel protected? Do I want to travel guided? Do I want to travel knowing and feeling the presence and love of God and Spirit, my angels, and whomever else I want to call in? It's my choice, given to me freely. I can be a loner or I can stay connected. And that is what Spirit wants to give you in this message of Easter, of hope, of resurrection, and knowing that things are changing all the time. And most of all, they want to send you and shower you that love and that light. And they say thank you for listening, and thank you for being open and embracing what the eyes can't see, but what the heart can feel. Amen. Namaste. Thank you.